Coffee break with me. Woo! Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Did you hear that? Hi guys! How are you today? So, today I was getting ready, hence the wet hair, the nightie, and the half makeup. I was getting ready to film other videos that I needed to do, and I was gonna use products that are brand new, and I was like, why don't I just film it? You know what I mean? Sometimes my brain is a little half asleep. It is very early in the morning, and yesterday was my very first iron infusion, so there's that. So this video is gonna be like a hybrid of a get ready with me / first impression on a new collection that recently launched from Urban Decay, and this is the Urban Decay collab with Kristen Leanne. That's this one right here. The packaging is so cute. Like, I don't even want to open it. It's like, can I just keep everything in this cute little box? Isn't that adorable? It's so pretty. And then the products are inside. It is a limited edition collection. It has a fun, colorful eyeshadow palette, then like a neutrals palette, a couple of lip products, and then a highlighter palette. I don't know why I'm showing you the back, but that's what it looks like. Anyway, so in this collection, you have the colorful eyeshadow palette that I told you guys, the neutrals, the highlighter palette. There are 3 exclusives that you could find at different places, whether it's Sephora, Ulta, or the Urban Decay website. These are the products that I have in this PR box, so this was sent to me. But there are 3 exclusives down here. I really want to get my hands on this mustardy shade. This is like one of those colors that I told you I really like. It's like mustardy, brownie, barfy, baby diarrhea color. That's kind of amazing for the crease color. But this one is only exclusive, or this one's only available on the Urban Decay website, or if you guys are in Newport and you could go to the new, and you guys can go to the Urban Decay retail store. But aside from that, we're gonna take a stab at these and see what we can come up with. I actually don't have anything in mind that I want to create, but I do have to go to a slumber party later today. I am not one of the participants of the slumber party, but I do have a friend of mine. He has a daughter that's turning 11. He's doing a slumber party with 8 little girls, and he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. And so I just told my friend, I was like, bro, I got this. So I'm gonna head over there, and I'm going to play with 10 and 11-year-old little girls. So I thought I would bring makeup, nail polish, and sheet masks. I mean, could you think of anything else more fun at that age? Why am I taking so long to actually get to the point? Anyway, so this is the Kaleidoscope palette. It looks like this. I have never been a fan of layouts like this. Y'all need to be lined up. Y'all need to be rectangles or squares or circles, but like mixed up like this, it makes me a little uncomfortable. However, this is Kristen. You know what I mean? She's an artist. She has an eye for things. She's just gorgeous. So I could totally understand it. Now, when I see a colorful eyeshadow palette like this, I want to put them all on my face. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a difficult time committing to a color, but we're gonna try our best. The other thing in here is like a neutrals palette, and this is called the Daydream palette. If I could ever get it open, I would love to show it to you guys. Love to. So this one looks like that, and I actually thought upon first impression, before I knew anything about the collection, I thought it was a lip palette. Doesn't it look like one? Like a nude lip palette where you take a lip brush and make your own combo, but it is a palette that has all mattes. How pretty is that? This is kind of like one of those palettes you just drop in your purse when you're in a hurry and you want to make yourself look kind of pretty while you're at the DMV just waiting for your number to be called. And then we have the Beauty Beam highlighter palette that I would also love to show you as soon as I'm able to open it. Look how pretty that is. So the packaging is all pink, but a little bit different, one from the next. This kind of reminds me of the, ooh, what were those called? Do you remember those palettes? I think they were Naked Skin. I think that was one of the first, was it? I don't remember, but it had like the blush, the highlighter, and the bronzer, but these are all highlighters. So when we get to them, I'll show you some up close swatches. But for now, I think we'll get started with eyeballs. All right, you guys, before we get into the color explosion troll extravaganza that I'm about to do on my face, I'm gonna take my damp beauty blender and just some excess powder and protect my face makeup, because you guys know we don't do anything in moderation around here. And so I'd hate to ruin my face because I go ham on beautiful, colorful eyeshadows. Okay, now the huge or rather, as per usual, we're gonna go in with the Daydream palette and the shade Lucy. I also really like that she put a lot of thought into the names of the colors, and you can actually find out the reason behind the names of each of these products, which is kind of cool. You guys, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do something super fun, like really, really fun. Like, I don't know, purple and oh, actually, isn't tomorrow like a really important game? Something about like the Vikings and the AFC, and I don't know anything about football. Not a word. Like, gun to your head, Dani, name 3 teams. I'm like, shoot me now. I don't want to die hungry. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to take a giant fluffy blending brush, and just as I said I was going to do something different, I'm like, am I though? I'm going to take the color Daydream, that's this shade right here, and that's going to be my transition shade. Ooh, that's so pretty. Look at that. I really need to get my hands on that mustardy color. I actually don't even know what it's called, but it's a single pan. It's just one of those like eyeshadow singles. So I'm definitely curious to get it. I think it might be like Ultra from MAC. You know what I'm gonna do, because I actually have to take a couple of pictures of this mascara that I really like. I can't do anything too dark on the lid. So a few years ago, I did a look where my lid, like the top portion, was like a warm brown, kind of neutrals, and then the bottom, I did a pop of color with like a really, really, really bright blue, and I really liked how that looked with brown eyes. So I think I'm gonna do something like that. However, there are some options for like a really fun lid. There's this color in here called Leo. Let me show you guys. It's like a transition shadow. Do you see that? It has like a shift to it. And then right next to it is Brixton. That's another transition shadow. And one of them is like a pink gold shift. The other one is like a, I don't know, it has almost like a mermaid scale shift to it. I don't know if you guys can tell. So I'm thinking if I could incorporate that somehow to the lid so that it's a little bit more fun, but it still doesn't darken the lid. So let's do this together, you guys. What are we gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna take that same brush and the color Subscribe, which is just a scotch darker than what I put on the transition. And I'm going to apply that sort of as a transition, but just a little bit lower. I'm not gonna bring it up as high. So it does almost like a gradient. So I'm having a couple of thoughts. My first thought is, what if I do Corona on the lid? It's a really beautiful bronzy copper. So let me swatch that. That's really pretty. What if I do that on the lid, right there? Or I go in with Tajin, that's this beautiful orange, and then top that with one of the, oh my gosh, look at that. What if I top that, holy moly. Can we talk about that? What if I top it with one of the like transformer shadows? Do you think it would make a really big difference? Let's see. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but right here is Tajin. That's that orange that you see peeking out. And then I applied Leo and Brixton. I was hoping that it would change it into like a beautiful, some sort of shiny, I don't know, bronzy gold, but I feel like it just overpowers. It's not sheer enough. Or maybe if I go in with like a thinner layer, it'll look a little different. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go in straight with the bronze Corona. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with Corona with my finger. You guys are so funny. You're like my family, my friends. Anytime I use something out of the ordinary, like I remember in a video a little while ago, I used a Sonia Kashuk blush brush as opposed to my MAC 127. You guys were like, whoa, that's not the one you normally use. What's going on? So yes, I'm using my middle finger. My bad. Okay, now we're gonna do, ooh, I'm conflicted because I really want to use Tajin somehow. It's such a pretty orange. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 8, this chocolate brown. It looks like a milk chocolate brown. It's not too dark and it's just neutral enough. And I'm gonna pop that on the outer third of my lid and then move it up to the crease. And I'm just doing like a light bumping motion because I don't want to get rid of that Corona shade. I feel like a lot of times, do you guys hear the siren? I don't know what's going on with the weather. We were supposed to have really great weather after having like 20-degree weather for about a week. We were supposed to have really warm weather today, but it's super windy and it's like wind chill of like -20. You guys, I know I'm being dramatic, but you know what I'm saying. So it's weird. Texas is like, it's still winter over here. Let us enjoy it. So there's sirens. My shingles are falling off the roof. Okay, they're not. It just sounds like they are. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those opportunities where I just need to stop. Like I can't keep going. If I keep going, I might screw things up, but I can't help myself. I want to keep going, and I want to keep going because I want to use a little bit of this color. Tajin. You know what tajin is? It's like this like chili, citrusy chili that you sprinkle over like fruit or vegetables. It's so good. Should I? I think I need to back away. Okay, just a little bit. Should I do it? Oh my God. Okay, just a little tap. See how pigmented that is? Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna screw things up right now. How does that look? Too much? Did I ruin it? Did I ruin it? Oh, all right. Oh, I like it. Cool. All right. That's not so bad. There's a really beautiful gold in here called Stay Gold. That's this color right there in the really big pan. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on the middle finger and just bump it on the center of the lid. One of those neutral golds that will look good on everybody. Doesn't matter the undertone of your complexion. However, you guys know I'm a firm believer in just wear whatever you want. Who cares what people think, right? Are they paying your bills? I don't think so. Okay, so I think that's it for the top. Now what I'm gonna do is dust off all the excess powder from the lower portion of our face and start doing the bottom. So for the bottom, I want to do either TRM or LCW. Those are these two blues right here, or both, who knows. I want that on the lower lash. Holy crap. Wow! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're so pretty, you guys. Look at that. Do you see that? I should have gone in on the lid. Look at that. Which one should I do? I kind of want to do the darker one. That's really pretty. But in order to go in with such a dark color, I'm going to have to do some sort of like gradient or transition. Look how intense that is. Do you see that? That's all pigment. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some sort of gradient or transition, so it's not so like blue in your face. So let's go in with like a flat shader brush like this and the color Daydream. That's the very first color that we used as a transition color. And I'm going to just arbitrarily run that on the lower lash line, bring it as low as you feel comfortable. It'll be a really perfect color for a gradient. Then I'm going to go in with a 234 from Zoeva and the color, oof, I kind of want to do the dark blue, you guys. Let's start off with baby steps, just a little bit of it. I feel like I'm going to get it all over my face. I'm gonna need a pencil. Okay, I'm just gonna take a blue pencil from Shea Moisture. It's called Blue. It's the same exact color as Chaos from Urban Decay, but the Urban Decay 24/7 liners actually don't stay on my eyes. For some reason, when I'm applying them, they don't transfer onto my skin. So I feel like maybe they don't play well with products that I use, whether it's like my eye moisturizer or my powder or whatever. They just don't stick as well. Do you see that? Like that, no struggle at all to get that onto my eyes. Then go in with that same color and the brush. Bear with me, it'll look a little messy at the beginning, but we'll go in and correct it. Now do the other side. Do you see how buttery this pencil is? Like there's no struggle at all to get it on my eyes. Okay, go in with that flat shader brush and the color Daydream again. And we're gonna run that slightly over the blue to just kind of soften it up a little bit. Okay, take that same Zoeva brush and I'm gonna take the blue color TRM and just go straight in like that, and then we're gonna push it into the lower lash line. So you're not running it back and forth, you're just gonna push the product. Then I'm gonna take just a brown pencil and run that on the tight line, just the top, because we used the blue on the waterline. Does a pretty good job at staying there too. Do you see how bright it is? What do you guys think? I really like that blue. That blue is kind of giving me all kinds of feelings. What I need to do now is bronzer blush, and mascara. But I feel like something is missing on my eyes before I get into mascara. So what I think I'm gonna do is take Beauty Beam, the highlighter palette, and the lighter shade, this one right here, or actually maybe this one. No, definitely the middle color. So I'm gonna take that color and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner, just with my pinky finger, to just kind of brighten up that area. Yeah, do you see the difference? And I'll also use that as the highlighter on my face once I do my blush and my bronzer. It's cute, right? Go in with the highlighter palette on the actual face. We're going to take this middle shade right there and my baby brush from Senna Cosmetics, just a little tap. These highlighters are actually very soft. They're like the eyeshadows, super soft, so you want to be careful. You know how I don't do any highlighter in moderation, so they're very soft. So if you guys are a little bit more modest with your highlighters, I would say light hand. If you are like me, where you'd like to look like you are part unicorn going to a rave, then go for it. So you can see how glowy that middle shade is when the light hits it. It's pretty intense. So that completes the look. Let's go over these products in a little bit more detail just to give you an idea. Now, I'm gonna preface everything that I say with this. Collaborations with brands, I think ultimately the number one reason why you go out and you buy these collaborations is because you support the creator, right? It's really hard to reinvent the wheel at this point, so it's gonna be really difficult to find something that you feel is super creative and super innovative and super different. It's gonna be more of a purchase based on celebrating the creator or the collaborator, being in love with the packaging or the presentation of products altogether. How does the collection make you feel, or how are the products or color combinations grouped together, right? So I've always been a fan of Kristen Leanne. I think she's a really great artist, but all in all, I'm just a fan of Urban Decay products. I am a little surprised at the texture of the powder products because I feel like they're a lot softer, but I feel like our trend in eyeshadow has sort of shifted in that direction where powder products are becoming a lot more soft. Think a little bit more of like Anastasia Beverly Hills or Lorac texture. So a lot more pigmented, but a lot softer. I feel like it has a lot to do with the concentration of pigment. So the product itself is a lot softer because it's a lot more pigment based. So a little recap, the main palette is $39. It's the Kaleidoscope palette. It looks like this. It's the one that has the brighter shades. It has a split pan down the middle with the two shifting colors. I really like this palette. However, it's a very colorful palette. This is going to be a useful palette for most people. Unless you're a super fan of color, you're probably gonna look at it and be like, oh, it's so cute, I want it for my collection, but you might not reach for it that often. I was very pleasantly surprised with Tahine. This is probably my favorite color in the palette, but these two blues just knocked it out of the park. I actually used both, and I don't know if I was able to capture that footage. I used the darkest blue, TRM, closest to the lashes. Then I went in with the same brush and LCW and ran that along the lower portion, or right below that blue, just so it wouldn't be such a harsh finish and it would create sort of like a blue gradient. Love these shadows. I mean, you saw when I swatched them, it's shocking. So again, $39. This is the main palette in the collection. Then you have the Daydream palette, which is all mattes and they're all neutrals. I really liked it. This is kind of one of those palettes that I feel I would hit pan in, or when I don't want to really think about packing, I would just throw this palette in there and I have all my looks. I prefer to do an all matte look when I really don't want to think about it. You have your brow bone or your lid color, then you have all of these for transition shades, or you could even use this peach as a lid, and then you have your deepening shade, the one that would go in the crease or the outer V to just kind of smoke out the look. So it's a really great palette. It looks a little boring, but It's a neutral palette. It's a palette that you would never forget to use. So again, this one is $26. And then the face palette or the Beauty Beam palette, this one is $34 and it has 3 highlighters. It's a pan that's split 3 times, so they're not individual pans. So they will run together so you could create your really cool mixture or like unique shade of highlighter. I personally would only reach for the middle shade. I feel like it's the only one that would look okay on my complexion currently because I'm currently the same color as this beige sweater. So I really liked it, and I really like that the formula is very similar to the eyeshadow. So I was able to pop this highlighter on the inner corner as well. You guys can see how beautifully it glows. And then the lip colors, you guys, I love that she went with the Comfort Matte collection. The one that I'm wearing right now is called Bun Bun Comfort Matte. This is a cool tone, almost like pebble-like nude. And when I was applying it, I felt like it washed me out a little bit. However, I do love the Comfort Matte formulas from Urban Decay because they do not need a lip liner. They last all day, but they're not drying. So you could have raisiny lips like I do, and they're not going to emphasize or highlight how dry or textured your lips are. But because it washed me out a little bit and I wanted to commit to this color because I like it, there's ways to use colors that may not be as flattering on you, and there's ways to kind of like kick them up a notch. So what I did is I took the Kaleidoscope Dream palette and I took a little bit of Corona, which is the color that I have on the lid, and I applied that to the center of the lips. I don't know if you guys could see that like metallic shift that it has towards the middle. I just popped that on the center of the lid, and not only does it prolong the wear of your lipstick, it's metallic, which is a little bit trendy right now when it comes to lip colors, and it's also going to warm up this pebble tone or like nudish brown and suit me a little bit better than if I'd just gone in with the plain lipstick itself. So it's definitely a really good collection. If I were to go out and purchase any of these products myself, I would have totally purchased Bun Bun, the nude lip color that I'm wearing, and I would have also purchased the Daydream palette. Now, had I been in the store in front of the Kaleidoscope Dream palette and I would have swatched these 2 blues, I would have bought it on the spot. Now, online, just looking at it like this, I probably wouldn't have, but that's because I told you, my visual preference, I wouldn't have gone with a layout like this. That just to me seems like, I don't know, a waste of space, or it's just not as visually appealing. I love the colors, I love the color combination, I love the options that you have in here. Anyway, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. All of the products mentioned will be listed in the description box below. Even the ones that I didn't mention, like my foundation or whatever else I'm wearing, will be listed in the description box below. But aside from that, y'all know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, or learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye, guys!